like human beings used to be before they became too civilized to enjoy themselves.
Welcome back to Houston Life. That was a preview of the Moth Project Live, which blends beautiful art, visuals, light, sound, and science in a way you've probably never seen before.
Now, the duo behind the one-night-only performance is joining us in Studio B, Grammy-nominated producer Peter Kiesewalter and Texas-born violinist Whitney La Grange. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, it is our pleasure. So the show looks incredible, but let's start from why you decided to focus on the moth and creating really all of this art around it.
Well, in 2020, remember the pandemic?
Unfortunately.
We went to my family. My family has a cottage in Canada, so we went and quarantined there for the summer. I grabbed my kids, went and sat there. Whitney and I were sitting around the campfire every night thinking, are we ever gonna be allowed to play music again, right? We're literally watching in the evenings these moths go to the flame, go to the light. Some of them were self-immolating, like burning themselves up. And I turned to my younger brother, who is a biologist, and said, Toby, what's that about? That was the sort of catalyst for starting to think, well, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something in these things. Why do they go to the light? You know, science has a theory, but I like to think that these things are just reckless and maybe a little stupid, you know?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, why would they do that, right? So many questions. From the video we just saw, it seems like this truly is an immersive experience, right? You're not just listening to something, you're not just watching something, you're really feeling it. Whitney, that's really the goal of this project, is it not?
Yeah, we want the audience to feel very much like sort of connected to nature and sort of walk away with this feeling of wonderment for the natural world. So, and I think they do walk away with that feeling. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter, you use these slow motion videos. We're seeing some footage of you guys performing right now. I mean, it's incredible how much two people can really create this experience for a group of people. Now, this is something that's so great because it's free to the community, but really break down the performance for us. What do you think the feedback is, someone watching the show?
People come up to us afterwards, and scientists will say, thank you for doing what you're doing, because no one's been listening to us for the last 50 years. We're saying, hey, everyone, we have to pay attention. And I think scientists, or particularly climate scientists, are looking to artists now to say, can you help us spread the word in an entertaining way that might make people pick up their ears and pay attention, right? But yeah, there is a lot that we can do. Sorry, I forgot what the initial question.
What is the feedback? Like, what did people, after someone watches the show, they come up to you and say?
Well, I had no idea that there were so many kinds of moths. I didn't know how important they were for, well, as a major source of food. As pollinators, they are the world's most efficient pollinators. Sorry, bumblebees, but we know now that moths are, if we didn't have moths, there's way less pollination, way less migratory birds. And they're a barometer for what's happening in the ecosystem. When there's moths around, it's a good thing, you know?
They do more than just eat your socks.
That's right.
Yes, and your sweaters, right? That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
You both are so accomplished. Peter, you're from Ottawa, Canada.
Right.
Originally, you play saxophone, clarinet, keyboards, accordion. Whitney, you're originally from McAllen, Texas.
That's right.
Welcome back from New York City. You have a bachelor's from the Juilliard School in New York City, attended Yale on a full scholarship program, Master of Music degree from University of Illinois. I mean, the accolades are incredible, tracing your careers. Describe to us, what is it like to have interest in your work from all over the country? Because I understand the artist Jen Lewin, who really did like the visuals for this installation at Discovery Green, you had never collaborated with her before, but Discovery Green, shout out to Suzanne Tice, loves the best of the best in the art world, and she put all of you together.
I know, it's. I want to meet Jen Lewin because, and we're about to, after this, go see the Atlas exhibit at the Discovery Green. We're very excited to see that, and she's from Brooklyn.
That's right.
Where Peter lives.
Yeah, she's a neighbor, so it'll be good to meet her for sure. But I think Suzanne did a bunch of Moth adjacent programming for this particular, because I think Jen's exhibit is closing on the 16th, as you
Right,
mentioned, right?
right.
So I think for this last weekend that Suzanne wanted to do a bunch of moth-related things, found us, looked us up, and said, why don't you come down to Houston and play this show? What the other thing people take away, to loop back to your other question, is yes, it's about and inspired by moths, but there's also there's this personal story told in between the songs about my family's migration from Europe to North America, but told through the portal of a moth's life cycle. How much we are exactly the same as moths. We're born and we die, and then in between there's a lot of stuff that happens, you know, including we change, we evolve, we metamorphosize, we migrate, we move, we try to blend in. At some point we might exit our cocoons, we might annihilate ourselves on a cellular level. I actually have metamorphosis envy. I wish I could do what these things do, which is, you know.
You really are like moth enthusiasts, and I feel like Discovery Green has brought you all
Yes.
together to
Yes.
really spread the good word of the moth. Can you explain, Peter, what these videos are? Because this is actually another person that's involved in the project.
Yeah.
And you use the visuals for the show.
That's right. When we first started doing the project, you Google moths, like where are they? And one of the first things that came up was these series of slow motion videos of these moths in flight. He films these at 6,000 frames per second.
Wow.
He being Dr. Adrian Smith, he's a biologist in North Carolina, contacted him and said, can we use some of these great videos for our show? So when we project them onto us, we stand in front of a big projection screen and we disappear into the projections. And these moths then are like 20 feet by 35 feet wide, depending on how big the screen is. But they really are spectacular. It's like you're looking at a shag carpet from the Amazon rainforest, and these things they're all around us. I just never paid attention.
So
My goodness.
cool.
Well,
So
Peter
cool.
and Whitney, thanks for spending time in Houston. I hope you love the exhibition. And by the way, go and experience their performance. The info is on your screen right now, Saturday, February 15th.
Yes, and the Moth Project is going to be at 7:30. The last day to see Atlas installation, as we mentioned, February 16th. But go at 7:30, and it's at the Grove. It's the Grove part of Discovery Green. We're going to put all the information on our website, HoustonLife.tv.
Peter Kiesewalter, Whitney La Grange, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Welcome
you
to
so much.
Houston.
Yes.
Super, super cool. And always, discoverygreen.com is where you can find their calendar of events.